people out and don't quit.
But now I got to play.
Listen, Henry.
Yeah.
To this day. You understand what I'm saying? That's the chant.
Say it one more
there,
time
son.
for me. Say it one more time for me.
To this day.
I can see
Bomb squad.
Bomb squad.
But no, hold on, guys. I got to play devil's advocate here because we can't just, be biased here. Once again, let's say
You're not being biased.
Anthony Joshua pulls the win, knocks out Andy Ruiz, right?
Tyson Fury's
Will
gonna
the
whip his
Wilder
ass.
fight happen?
It's gonna happen no matter what. That fight is gonna happen no matter. It has to happen.
I don't think it happens. No
I think it's gonna
We'll
happen.
get to that a little bit later. There's going to be some politics after
They're going
this
to try
fight.
to milk those belts a little bit more.
Listen,
They're
I
gonna
think
try
that
to
fight's
milk
gonna
those
happen no
belts a
matter
little
what.
bit
It has to happen.
I'm being honest with you. If he beats Ruiz, I think he should just retire because he's not going to want to fight on Wilder. I'm telling you, he don't want to get hit by that thing. You saw what that thing looked like.
Well, if he beats Ruiz or if he loses Ruiz, Anthony Joshua is getting a payout that's reported at $85 million.
That's bullshit. Why Ruiz not getting that money? He's the
Because
champion.
he didn't have the contract.
Yo,
Listen,
Larry,
that's why I want
you to do for me.
Ruiz to knock him. Listen, I want him to do like Deontay Wilder did to Fury, like just knock him into another world.
Now,
Yo, Larry, this is what I want you to do for me. I want you to get me Anthony Joshua's Cash App information so I can send him a request. Like, how much you getting again?
$85 million.
Tell him to Cash App me. I apologize.
And you know what's funny? I used to be an Anthony Joshua fan. Like I was excited for him when he was coming up. When he beat Klitschko, I was excited for him. I was like, this guy's gonna be a monster. Then I saw him fight. When I saw him fight Povetkin, I was like, "Oh, this guy's shaky. Wait a minute." Then when I saw him fight Ruiz, I was like, "Oh, this guy did just." That's how he said he was a paper champion.
But it's the heavyweight division. It's the heavyweight division. We gotta remember that in that division, all it takes is one punch. Even the weakest guy, even the guy that you least expect.
Yeah, but the way they were building him up, the way he was talking hot.
Right now. The heavyweight division is not the most talented division right now. I mean, we got a lot of big punchers, yes. But at the end of the day, I mean, that's what makes it exciting because it is a one-punch thing. But this dude he quit, man. Like, I can't get over that. I can't get over that. I will never get over that.
On the first fight, a lot of people made a lot of money betting on Andy Ruiz because he was like a 16-1 underdog. Well,
If I wasn't so broke, I would have made
he
some
was
money.
a 16-1 underdog the first time. This time he's a plus 170 underdog, which means if you bet $100 on Andy Ruiz, you could win 170. Last time it was like you could bet $100 and you could win $1,600. So, Curtis, I know you're going to be disappointed about this, but out of respect for the local customs that require the women to cover up, the promoters have announced there will be no ring girls at this fight.
That's bullshit.
Oh, my
Well, you're in Saudi Arabia.
I think it's
Listen,
fair.
it's boxing,
I think
bro.
it's fair. I think it's fair. Out of respect to their culture, I mean, yeah, I mean,
They can cover them up. They can still cover them up and have ring card girls. Don't you think?
Yeah, just
They
put
can
them all
cover
in
them up.
bodysuits.
Why not?
Put them all in bodysuits.
Yeah. Why not? This is
Wear
boxing.
bodysuits.
Boxing
If
have
you wear
ring
a
card
little-
girls.
Yeah, look, wear a bodysuit with a little cat, a little bunny tail, a little puffy little bunny tail on the back.
well, the whole point of the females covering up, I believe, is to to prevent temptation in the guys or something like that. And
Let me tell you something. It's
bunny
human
suits
nature.
would
We all
not
live
be
in
a good idea for
Right.
the ring card girls.
All right,
Hey,
so
look.
so let's just go around the table.
That's,
You guys are all picking Andy Ruiz, correct?
Yeah,
Andy Ruiz,
I'll go with Andy Ruiz, yeah.
8th or 9th round.
Yeah,
Andy Ruiz,
I'd say 8th round.
stoppage.
Yep.
And the only one that's going for Joshua is Larry. Larry's hoping for Joshua to win. He wants Joshua to win.
So much.
But now let me ask you, Larry,
wants to have
if
two
Anthony
wins.
Joshua loses this fight, do you think he'll go over to WWE?
No. Now,
He's gonna go to AEW.
we have Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder gave their predictions on this fight.
A lot of red flags that alerts me, and if that same mindset and momentum go in the second fight, and the Ruiz gonna win that easily.
Same again, exactly. Even with his mind straight, because his mind wasn't the problem. The problem was he's met his bogeyman in Andy Ruiz Jr. The thing is, if AJ can't change his style, he's a brute force, great at what he does. He's powerful. He's strong. He's got good boxing IQ and that. But he can't come out on his toes. He ain't going to come out like Muhammad Ali, flicking the jab and moving around.
Or like Tyson Fury.
Yeah, because he knows one style, and that's that classic walking forward, typical European style.
Oh my God!
Well, there you have it. I mean,
like you said, he can't do nothing different. He's the same Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
My mind? Did Tyson Fury read my mind? This guy's a robot. This guy, Anthony Joshua, is a robot. I remember when I said to people that if Joshua was to fight Wilder and he tries to sit back and outbox him, he's going to get knocked smooth out.
It's like the RoboCop. He's like a RoboCop. That's it.
And it's one thing that we all know from the sport is that whenever you feel in danger or start to feel uncomfortable, you're always going to go back to what you're accustomed to doing. Right. And therefore, even if he does try to come out as a disciplined boxer, once Andy Ruiz lands shots on him, he's going to go right back to doing what he normally does.
Listen, Andy Ruiz,
man.
He's going to win this fight. And then after that, he's probably going to buy a house in Saudi Arabia. Buy some oil over there or something.
All right, well, let's discuss the fallout. So there's going to be some boxing politics after this fight. Now, everyone in the world wants to see the winner of this fight the winner of Wilder versus Fury. There isn't anybody who follows boxing that doesn't, unless you might be the WBO or the IBF. The winner of Joshua versus Ruiz must choose between making a mandatory defense of the IBF title against Pulev or required the WBO belt against Usyk. So in theory, the winner could have to fight both of them before fighting Wilder, or the real likelihood is that one of those belts is going to get stripped, and there's going to be another heavyweight champion.
Listen, this whole Usyk thing in the heavyweight division is a joke, man. This guy's going to get hurt by one of these guys. Usyk needs to go back down and wait. And listen, and Pulev, on the other hand, this good dude could fight. He'll give a great match to any of them. But come on, Usyk, bro, he's too small.
Hey, look,
I think
he's not excited. He's going to go pity pat the whole fight and run.
He is the Paulie Malignaggi heavyweight.
But now,
listen, Paulie was better.
No disrespect, Paulie.
But
I'm not talking about that.
If Ruiz wins this fight,
Paulie don't kill me.
The PBC will control the heavyweight championship, and they may or may not do their own title. Will the PBC even care that Ruiz gets stripped of one of the belts?
Honestly, I think that he should just vacate those belts. Like, honestly, I think
all of them
more. Well, yeah, why not? I mean, honestly, everybody would know that
they might vacate
the big
the WBO.
fight. Yeah, the big fight is between Wilder. The winner of Wilder, Fury, and Ruiz and Joshua. And honestly, if one of them vacate those belts, at the end of the day, it's like Usyk didn't win that belt. Pulev didn't win that belt. You know, like they didn't dethrone the title holder. They're literally being given that belt. You know, so therefore, I think.
Well, the PBC said last week that they don't even recognize the WBO as a so.
I tell you, that's Bob Arum's belt.
They might just throw that belt away.
It's Bob Arum's belt.
Listen, at the end of the day,
everybody on top rank wins the WBO.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You can strip them. We're only going to recognize that one champion.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
And the champion is Deontay Wilder.
All right. Well, we've got a stacked undercard on this event. It's all heavyweights. Alexander Povetkin is fighting Michael Hunter. What do you guys think of this fight?
Povetkin
I think
is
that's
probably going to hurt. He's going to stop Hunter. He's going to stop. Povetkin's going to stop Hunter.
That's a great fight for Hunter.
I think Povetkin's going to stop Hunter.
Well, Curtis, you think it's a great fight for Hunter? Why so?
Because it's a test. You have a former champion in Povetkin, you know, who's still strong, who's still solid. You know what I mean? But is aging.
I don't think Michael Hunter could handle Povetkin, honestly.
Yeah, but it's a good test for him. If he gets through that, you know, I could see him in a fight for a belt after this. You know, I could see that coming. But it's a good test for him. Povetkin is a strong, solid guy, lefty. You know, it'll be interesting to see this fight.
You know, I'm actually
because Michael Hunter's not the biggest puncher either. It'll be interesting to see this fight if he can stay composed and box.
I'm actually interested in that Dylan White versus Mario's Wack.
I'm upset. I'm upset that Dylan White is actually fighting.
Because he just tested positive, did he not? For a PD.
He was shooting needles in his booty. And how did he get off a suspension? I don't get it. I don't get it.
Listen, that's why they fight in another country.
Why they fight in Saudi Arabia.
You know?
Well, Eric Molina did mention to us the last time we had him on the show that someone that was fighting in Saudi Arabia it was injustice that he was fighting on that card because he just recently tested positive for PEDs. Do you think he was referring to Dylan White?
Of course.
He was Pookie from New Jack City. He was shooting. He was listen, I don't understand like what is happening in boxing. Like, and this is so backwards because I look at Heather Hardy, you know what I mean, who had a diuretic and not even a testosterone pump
those are
or
different
any of that
countries.
other stuff. Yeah,
I know. I think that's the reason Dylan White is fighting, because it's a different country.
And do you guys feel that Eddie Hearn will get criticized for this? Because
he's getting criticized by this.
He's had quite the stablemates of his that tested positive for some sort of PEDs, and yet
check this out.
Still permitted to compete.
I want to ask you guys a question. Do you think Eddie Hearn is helping boxing or he's hurting boxing?
Both.
I think both. Yeah, I definitely think he's in there for more selfish reasons than to help boxing.
Well, nobody's in here for selfless reasons, of course.
Canelo message to the zone. They will never push my fight back ever again. Like, come on, seriously? KSI?
Also on that card is Filip Hrgovic is fighting our friend Eric Molina.
I'm pulling. Listen, I hope Eric pulls it off.
Yeah,
man.
He deserves it. He deserves it. And
listen,
I think
I'm going for the guy who came on Boxing Insider Radio. Eric Molina, you're our guy.
You're our guy.
Filip Hrgovic is definitely no joke, and he's definitely one to watch.
He never fought a Mexican, though.
He never fought a Mexican. So this fight's going to be in Saudi Arabia. How did we end up in Saudi Arabia? They originally wanted to have the rematch at Madison Square Garden. Then it was going to be in Cardiff until Andy Ruiz refused to fight in Britain. So Saudi Arabia came in with a big money offer and lined up the fight. They built a beautiful arena in the suburb of Riyadh, the capital of Saudi Arabia. Historically, this town was the original home of the Saudi royal family, and this match is sponsored by the Saudi Public Investment Fund. Half the tickets have been purchased by fight fans from the UK, with fans from 65 different countries coming in for this fight. They built this arena that will stage the fight. It's a 15,000-seat arena. They built it 2 months ago, and they will take it down right after the fight. Wow. This is absolutely a unique venue that they built that is 3 sides. It's gorgeous. They have a 4-side, which is where all the concessions and the VIP, hospitality areas, and the studios. The fighters will enter from the smaller stand in what will be a gladiator-style entrance for the fans in attendance. This will be the 3rd boxing fight in Saudi Arabia. Amir Khan fought Billy Dib there in July, and Callum Smith won the World Boxing Super Series against George Groves there in September 2018. Now, there's a lot of controversy for having this fight in Saudi Arabia. So to give you guys a little bit of background, a prominent critic of the Saudi Arabian government was killed inside the kingdom's consulate in Istanbul by a team of Saudi agents. Basically, that sparked a worldwide backlash against Saudi Arabia. Amnesty International have highlighted their concerns about this event being hosted in this country, calling the country's human rights record abysmal. Eddie Hearn defended the decision by saying he's, quote, comfortable with hosting the fight there because there's a lot of money. What do you guys think about all this stuff that's going on here?
Well, I mean, it's definitely an interesting place that they chose to make this fight happen. I'm just curious, though, Larry, do we have an idea of what the ticket sale was going for this fight?
What do you mean?
Like the prices on the tickets for this fight?
The tickets were not very expensive. I mean, it was priced normally.
Well, yeah, it's definitely interesting. And I think the fact that they're taking this out and building an arena for this event, I think it's actually a good thing for boxing because it's showing us that platform and where boxing once used to stand, especially with the heavyweight fights.
Now, Eddie Hearn told the boxing media one day at Madison Square Garden that we've all gotten spoiled going to all these fights here in New York City and in Las Vegas, and that he sees a future where we are going to lose every big boxing fight to Saudi Arabia because you just can't compete with the money.
That's very interesting.
Listen, he just wants to take all the big fights from the U.S. That's what he's been trying to do for a long time. He was trying to do the big fights out there in over there in England. Like